Yeah. Hey. Well, yeah. Goonies never say die. You know what time it is. We got horror suspense. Listen, Kevin Trav digging in the bin. Dirty Dancing in Encino Man. You never know what you'll find in Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. He's got all these flicks from way back when. Marty McFly in the DeLorean. Gotta love the Cage and whatever he's in. Face off Snake Guys, you know it's a win. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, let's begin.
Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD Bin, the podcast where we take your favorite movies, give you some facts, tell you the plot, and there might even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host, Kevin.
And I'm your host, Travis.
Oh, man, there he is. Trav.
Hey, man.
You got in
What's
there,
up, dude?
bud. You just, and it was, I mean, you could have used a little more moxie, but, like, I feel like you hit it. You hit it.
I feel like, for our 10th take on this, that was the most I could bring.
Yeah.
So I think we should keep this one. Yeah, let's just keep it going.
Let's keep
Sorry
it.
about that.
It's fine. No, it's okay. I knew I could maybe wear down the hatred in you by getting 10 to 15 takes, and we got it before the 15th. So that's really, I'm proud of you, man. Proud of you. And I'm proud of all the listeners out there for joining us again for this episode of Good Podcast. Yep. And we're covering one of my all-time favorite movies, just by luck, just by happenstance. We're going to be covering 1978 Dawn of the Dead. Love this movie. And I got to tell you, Travis, I know you don't want to, you maybe not, don't want to hear about Uncle Doug, but I got to tell you the story of how I got this DVD. Okay?
Oh, good. You go first, because boy, do I have a story to tell you.
Okay. Wish I would have known about that before we got started, but we'll get there. So I called Uncle Doug. And I said, Doug, we got to do another episode. I know how things are, and I know how it must sound. I do want to get to a better place with all of us, but we're on a timeline. People are wanting these episodes. We got to get it done. We've got advertisers that we're talking to. This is important stuff. And he said, okay, fine. I tell you, I'll meet you. I'll meet you down to the Roses. Okay, Travis. Now the Roses department store, right?
Yeah. Didn't yours burn down?
Yeah, no, well, almost had bad electrical fire. A lot of the merchandise is kind of singed, but now you can get it at a cheaper price. Okay, so that's always good.
Great. You know what? I like a little char.
Yeah, right. Add some flavor. So Doug wants to meet me in the Roses parking lot. He's like, I'm just gonna get one, and he pulls this DVD out of the bin. One of my all-time favorite movies, Dawn of the Dead. And he hands it over to me, and he can see that I'm kind of excited that I like this movie,
Because he likes you, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I mean...
he likes you.
I am the favorite.
You're his favorite nephew.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I mean, Trav, listen, you've held that spot at times in the past. There was that whole time where Uncle Doug wouldn't talk to me because of that log splitter thing that happened between us. So, I didn't know I could mess up the pneumatics on it, but it just happened. So anyway, he gives me the DVD, and I look, and Uncle Doug is a craggy man. He's got some weathered features. Like a man that spent some time outdoors. But even for Uncle Doug, he looked tired a little bit. That bright spark you see in his eye was a little dimmer. And I said, Doug, what's going on? You can open up. You can tell me. And he kind of leaned back on that canary yellow Chevy C10, and he looked at me and he said, Kevin, Trish and me have been fighting. I said, oh, well, Doug, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I know there have been a lot going on. And he's like, it's getting pretty bad. So that's why I want to meet you here at the Roses. I'm gonna go in there and get her something nice. We'll get her something nice. Of course,
yeah. Something with a little char on it.
Yeah, maybe a little char on it. He's like, they got a sale on, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get something nice for her, and maybe be able to help us get on a little better. And I said, well, I hope so, Doug. And he just sort of ambled
And for folks
off.
at home that don't know, Roses is just a really bad Big Lots, and those went out of business.
Yeah, no, it's like a Kmart that just, there was an experiment that went kind of wrong. Not like totally wrong, but just a little wrong. And he...
Yeah.
Anyway, and And I'll tell you what, it was a sad sight because the sun was sort of setting behind the roses. Beautiful picture, really. And then there's this lean figure, Uncle Doug. You know, he got that little limp in his hip, you know, and walked in that store. And I had a pang of sadness for him, knowing what he's going through, Travis. But we did get a DVD, and I'm excited to be able to talk about this movie. So that's good. Yeah, you mentioned you might have something you wanted to discuss.
Well, it's not directly about Doug.
Oh, okay, great. All right.
But it does involve. God, Kevin, you're not going to believe this, man.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm going crazy. So I'm going to tell you this in confidence. I want you to give it to me straight. Am I paranoid? Because listen,
yeah, a little, like some.
No, hold up.
Oh, okay.
Now I went back down this past weekend to see my brother. We hang out every Valentine's Day. It ain't weird. Okay. I went down to. Quit making faces. It's fine. We're brothers.
That's good. That's naturally where people spend Valentine's Days with their brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with my brother, we're 18 years apart in age, and we like to hang out on Valentine's. It doesn't matter.
Is there candy?
Yeah, we always bring each other candy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I go down Abingdon Way there, really far down the road. I'm an hour and a half from home, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm where I don't even know people really anymore, other than my brother. And we go to the Shoney's. My brother loves Shoney's. He loves breakfast buffet, honestly, and I kind of do too.
Yeah, it's great.
So, I love it. And we're down there. It's the one off Route 19. We're having a good time. Now, I had just piled a mountain of bacon and eggs and hash brown patties, just crisp on the outside, just softer than a baby's bottom, just a big old pile of them. And I was fixing to drown the whole plate in ketchup when I felt this unmistakable sensation of eyeballs burning a hole in the back of my head.
Huh.
And you ever have that feeling like, sometimes when you walk around Roses where you feel like people are staring at you and you're like, is my wiener out?
Yeah.
I felt like my wiener was out, but it wasn't because I looked.
Huh. But like you were sitting down so nobody would even know.
Well, I was up walking around the buffet. I got to...
Metaphorically. Okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, you got to... I do like a couple prowls around first before I dig in. But then I turn around all slow, just kind of casual-like, and there she was. There's a woman sitting in the booth, or a booth about 4 behind me. She's staring right at me. Now, Kevin, the reason that I don't know exactly who it is, they're wearing a COVID mask in a buffet.
That's... maybe
consider
it, though. Maybe consider it, didn't want to get anything on the foods.
How you getting the food in your mouth? That's what I want to know. Didn't see this person eating at the Shoney's buffet, but she had on an unmistakable pink Dale Earnhart Jr. T-shirt. Faded pink, by the way.
Oh, no.
Smelled like Aquanet from 4 booths away.
Oh, no. Did you?
And I thought, listen, I looked at her, and I was like, it looks familiar. Those shifty eyes. I was like, what is that woman? Is that woman daydreaming? Why does she look so familiar? But she's looking dead at me, like she'd just seen Elvis just walk in the room. And I tried to shrug it off. I was like, there's no way that's Trish. There's no way. She followed me an hour and a half on a date with my brother. It's not a date.
Did you say a date
but it's
with your brother?
Well, it's just, times are hard. We like to, it was the only free Saturday. Listen, but then, I try to play it off because I don't want to tell my brother what's been going on.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want him asking questions, so I'm just trying to play it cool.
Well, he is your brother. Like, you share a Valentine's Day together. You could have probably told him.
No, that would be... Don't make it weird.
Okay, yes, you're right. That would make it weird. Sorry.
Yeah.
What's I thinking?
So I don't want to break... I just start shoveling food in my mouth all nervous like, and my brother's like, you all right? You all right? You all right? And I was like, I'm good. And he's like, who's that woman that keeps staring at you? Because now he's facing her.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I've never seen her before. She's still looking at me. And he was like, yeah, she hasn't taken her eyes off of you since you've been in here. Are you sure you don't know her? And I was like, no, do you recognize her?
Whew.
He's like, no, I don't know who she is. Well, I tell my brother, it's like, listen, I don't feel good. We're going to have to cut Valentine's Day short. Let's just head on back to the house now and watch 10 Things I Hate About You before it gets late.
I'm sorry. You watch, is that traditional? Do you watch that every Valentine's Day?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, Heath Ledger's great in it, so I can't be upset.
Oh, he's wonderful.
Yeah, he's really
yeah, it's a great movie.
Great performance. You know, it's based on Shakespeare.
Oh, I thought it was based on a true story.
Yeah, well, no, come on. I mean, all of Hollywood's based on a true story.
Okay. Well, anyway, I say, I don't feel, we got to get out of here. And he's like, all right, we got to go. And as I'm walking out, she slips down her mask and she blows me a kiss. And I knew right then who it was. It was Trish.
Oh.
She followed me. She's stalking me down at the Shoney's, an hour and a half from where I live, where I'm hanging out with my brother. And we got in my Jeep faster than I don't even have a metaphor for. We got in there fast.
Fast, yeah, quick.
And we sped away. and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. I took a few back roads home. I zigged and I zagged.
Boy, I would have taken her at least 3.5 hours in her Chevy Cobalt.
That's
like,
what I
that
thought.
car is not swift.
Kevin, I don't know what to do about it, man. If she's stalking me, I don't know what's going on. What if she's dangerous?
Travis, I don't know how to.
She's trying to get me killed.
I don't want to add on. I don't want to pile on. But when I was over at your house after we watched this movie, and I walked outside to go back to my car on the wind, I caught a distinct whiff of Virginia Slim cigarettes.
Telltale sign.
So I'm thinking maybe it's something you should be a little more worried about. Let me tell you this.
I'm scared to death.
Have you gotten rid of all the popsicles in the house?
Kevin, I can't do that.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just saying, that tempts her. So, like, put the shades down or something, maybe?
I bought a value pack. There's 200 in there, and I have one after each time I mow. Those are supposed to last me for years. I'm not throwing them away.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to help. Okay, all right. Well,
they cool me down on a hot summer's day. I'm not going to get rid of them.
It's so hot when you're cutting grass.
They're more important to me than she is.
Okay, well, all right. Okay, I understand. All right, okay. You know what? Maybe it was just some kind of misunderstanding. Maybe she just Shoney's. There aren't many of them. Maybe that was just the closest one, and she just really wanted to take in the ambiance.
She didn't even have food.
Okay, all right.
She didn't have food.
Well, that might. I mean, if she's spending a lot of time out of the house, maybe that's why her and Doug are fighting so much. Maybe it's all tied together. I hope. And
trying to get me killed, Kevin.
Trying
to set me up. Trying to frame me for something.
Okay, nobody's framing you. Okay, now you're getting a little paranoid. Okay,
paranoid, Kevin.
That is a good Shoney's, right?
It is honestly probably the best one I've been to.
Okay, all right. So maybe she just wanted a special Valentine's breakfast by herself. Anyway, with you now. Speaking of by yourself, I've watched the film that we're talking about today, 1978's Dawn of the Dead, probably more times than I've watched any other movie.
Question, by the way.
Yeah.
It's labeled 1978, but we have here, it says release date was May 24, 1979. What gives that, like a theatrical release date versus video, or what is it?
78 was when it was released in Italy, and in 79 is when I think April of 79 was when it was released in the U.S. So I went with the U.S. date in our show notes. Because
you said April, but clearly in the show notes you have May 24th.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it must have been that.
This is why I'm paranoid. I cannot
April,
trust anyone.
I think April was the premiere, and the wider theatrical release was May 24th. But I could be wrong. Certainly 1979. It was in that year, and maybe this is why I didn't have any friends in high school. Let me tell you, my senior year, Travis. This movie special place in my heart because all of my friends there was a rift, there was a cataclysm, a schism in my friend group, and I sort of got excluded from all of my friends. They decided they didn't want to hang out with me anymore. Shocking, I know, as charming as I am.
It's because you were like really into theater, or
it might have been. It might have been that I was constantly singing the best show tunes of the 1950s. That might have had something to do with it. I could see it being a little obnoxious.
That's my guy.
I've got a adequate voice. It wasn't that bad. I can carry a tune. But anyway,
you're actually pretty good.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So anyway, I was sort of sequestered from my friends though. So all I did my senior year of high school is I did theater, as you mentioned, and then I would just go to my job and I'd work till like 9 or 10 at night, and then I would just come home and put this movie on. And I think I did this for maybe 6 to 8 months. I watched this movie every single day. Now my question to you is, which mental disorder do I have?
Oh, I don't even know where to start. Man.
I mean, if alphabetical order, maybe start with the A's. I don't know. But
you've got a bad case of you got zombie brains is what you've got.
Oh, you went right to Z. Okay. All right. I like it. That's fine. Let's skip all the rest of them. I did love this movie. And it wasn't like I was, rapt watching it every time, but it was like background. So I'd put that on the little TV that I had with the VCR in it, and I'd play some Mega Man 10 or some I don't know. I think I was playing a lot of like N64 what's the F-Zero. What is that game? The racing game?
F-Zero?
What?
F-Zero.
Yeah, F-Zero. Yeah, I was playing a lot of that because
nice.
I thought I had reflexes. I don't. And just a lot of Dawn of the Dead. A lot of Dawn of the Dead, Travis. It was a sad time. But
Sounds like a happy time for you, if I'm being honest. You love this movie.
I do love this movie.
It's just a lonely time. That doesn't have to make it sad.
That's true. But I have now redeemed this film in terms of my loneliness. Our very own Harvest Black, Brian, went with me to see this movie in 3D. How about that? Saw the 3D release of this in the cinema. It was incredible.
How was that? It was really
pretty good. It was a pretty good 3D adaptation. Yeah, especially what really stands out to me is the scene where the guy's head explodes in the apartment building. Boy, did that really stand out in 3D. I was like, man, I got a little something on my shirt. You know what I'm saying?
I do kind of know what you're saying. Hopefully, you're prepared to carry the plot as you usually do. But I'll admit, I've watched this movie a handful of times, only once sober today. I find the first half very frenetic and hard to follow. I can't get attached to the characters until most of them are dead, and until it's whittled down to the 4, and we're inside the mall. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, oh, it's about these people. And so I always have a hard time kind of getting grounded. Now, that's not a critique and saying the movie's good or bad. It's just, for me, I have a really hard time sinking my teeth into what's happening because I think by design it starts off just crazy.
Yeah, very chaotic. I love that though. I love the way the tone of the movie starts off. It's very chaotic. We see the sort of the main characters that we're going to follow kind of navigating these situations. I love it. I think it's genius. But now this film was released on, let's go with May 24th of 1979 in the good old US of A. Directed by George A. Romero. Written by George A. Romero. Talk about a legend, am I right? Starring David Imge, Ken Foree, Scott H. Renninger. Fantastic.
Hey, and don't forget about Galen Ross. She's the other one. Can't leave out the one other main character.
Yeah, sorry. I really shouldn't have. And what's interesting, I think she had never had an acting job before. This is her very first acting job, which is kind of
I thought she was
fun.
great.
Yeah, she's fantastic in it. I think this movie, I've got to hold back on trying to wax philosophical about this particular film. Travis, forget all that. How about you give us we've got a horror movie here, all right? So it couldn't get any better. 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. How about you give us a little bit of that?
All right. I got you, bud. So starting out, I got one that I'm calling the High Flying Connection. Now, you remember Robin Shaw, right? I think that's how you say that name, Robin Shaw. He was Liu Kang in the last movie we watched.
Yeah. I remember.
High flyer. Loves that bicycle kick, right?
Oh, yeah.
Robin Shaw. He was also in the sequel, one of the few people that returned in the Mortal Kombat sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He was in there with James Remar, who was Raiden in that movie. And as I kind of half out of the side of my mouth last episode mentioned, James Remar is the only actor in that movie who really believes in the movie. He's trying really hard. He's like, I'm going to be this, and then I'm going to be Dexter's dad, and I'll be remembered forever.
He's so good as Dexter's dad, though.
He really is.
Yeah.
James Remar was in Django Unchained with Tom Savini, which I didn't remember either of them from that movie. I need to rewatch that.
Yeah.
Tom Savini, obviously, in this movie with David Imge, who goes by Flyboy. That's my high-flying connection between Robin Shaw and David Imge.
Man, you are really taking off with these things, bud. You are just
Thank you so much.
You're on a whole new plane.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Then we got the leading lady connection, right? Got to have the featured female star here, Bridget Wilson Sampras from the last film.
No.
Obviously, Sonia was in Nixon with Ed Harris. Love Ed Harris.
Yeah, great.
Ed Harris was in 1982's Creep Show with Galen Ross, who plays Francine in this movie.
Ooh, what if I could add to this connection?
Oh, please! I'd love you to do that.
Who was the director of Creep Show, or one of the directors?
George A. Romero.
That's correct. Look at you. Context clues, or maybe you already knew that. I'm not sure, but
of course I knew that. I'm so smart.
You
dude.
are.
Check
dude.
me out.
I
Check me out on
always say
LinkedIn.
that.
I'm pretty smart.
I always say that about you, man. I always say that about you. I love Creep Show, by the way. That's a great anthology. Have you seen both of those?
Oh, I haven't. Actually, I've never seen the first one's hard to find. The second one you can find streaming everywhere. For some reason, the first one, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Romero's doing with it. He won't let anybody have it.
Well, I mean, he's not. He's dead. I don't know what
he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. That's why you can't. That's why you can't ask him for it because he's dead.
Darn shame.
Last one I got here, badass connection. All right, we got a connection between the two badasses. Now I'm saying Lyndon Ashby. I'm saying Johnny Cage. Pretty good badass in the last movie. I liked that. I liked him a lot in that movie. Lyndon Ashby was in Iron Man 3 with Mark Ruffalo, who was the Hulk in that little Marvel series there. Mark Ruffalo was in a film I've never heard of or seen, but really want to. 1996 horror film called The Dentist with Ken Foree.
Nice. Look at that.
It was Peter in this movie. So Peter the badass, Johnny Cage the badass, coming together over Mark Ruffalo, another badass on occasion, the Hulk.
Yeah. I mean, he plays the Hulk. So yeah, The Dentist. I've seen that and I vaguely remember it. So how's that? Huh?
I would love to see it. The fact that Mark Ruffalo is in it makes me very curious.
It was
just him in a horror movie seems. I saw him in Zodiac.
Yeah.
The Zodiac. He was great, and there's a lot of good actors in that movie. Not really horror adjacent.
Yeah.
I would love to see him in something like this. So I might check this out.
Okay, all right. Well, if you want to do a streaming night, just hit your boy up over here. We'll do it.
Sure.
So, well, how about some of those preview reviews?
Oh, you got it, bud. Now, people who liked this movie, I had to scroll through pages of people writing full dissertations about this
That's
film.
actually just me. It's just me with all my different Letterboxd accounts I created just to say good things about this movie.
It was a lot of people, and which surprised me a little bit. I understand liking the movie. I don't understand liking the movie 3,000 words worth. But that's okay. Maybe I'm the odd man out here. But I did find a few that were readable for a podcast. So we've got a 5-star here from Julie, simply Julie, October of this past year, all lowercase. Finally crossed off one of my biggest blind spots. Can't believe I hadn't seen this already, but I'm glad I have now. One of the most immaculately paced. Did I say that right? Immaculately? I feel like I put too many L's in it. Immaculately paced, edited, and constructed films I've ever seen. Drops you right into the action from minute one and just never lets up. Perfect on every level.
You know what? I like this Julie, even if she puts too
Julie's
many
nice.
L's in immaculately.
That was me.
That was you.
Right.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I don't know. Again, one of the things that we discussed off air was there are multiple cuts of this movie, including the Argento cut, which is, the shorter version. There's a theatrical cut. There's director's cuts, all this sort of thing. I think the best version of this has got to be the theatrical cut. I think it's got just enough meat on the bone, all right, to be a tasty morsel, but succinct enough to just get the job done in an exciting way. I think when you get to the more 2-hour cuts of the movie, it's like, that's a bit much.
I had the extended cut, and I did want it to end at some point.
Yeah, I think it gets to be a bit much.
Yeah, but hey, that happens. All right, up next here, we got another 5-star from a one Quinn Bailey. Check him out on LinkedIn. This is from September of 2017. So long ago, they could be dead now. So maybe look him up on Facebook. Now, he goes on to say, the monster in this film is more than just a monster. It is a shambling, all-consuming viral phenomenon that just climbs straight from its grave upon death and keeps going. It infects all it touches, filling them with unknowable, incoherent hunger, reducing them to shells of their former selves. It knows no feeling, no emotion, just consumption. It will not die. There are also zombies in this movie.
I think the monster is consumerism. I think that might be what he was getting to, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty vague allegory in the movie. There's a lot of reviews that talk about that. I'm like, it could have just been really cheap to shoot this in a mall.
Yeah, George Romero was friends with the owners of the mall, so they kind of cut him a deal as long as they had all the blood and guts cleaned up before the mall opened the next morning.
The whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, I wonder if they had to leave some blood somewhere because it's all over the place.
Oh yeah, so messy, and the blood's so bright red.
I know
it's that
era.
70s blood.
It was all
I love
paint.
It. I love it though. I love it, man. Yeah, you know what? They're right. There are also zombies in this movie. I'm gonna give it to Quinn Bailey. Look him up on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's right. Now up next here, we got people who are mailing it, middle of the road folk. We got a 3-star here from Austin278. Open a can of whoop ass. April 9th, 2023. It was okay, but there was really nothing special about it. It's basically the same as every other zombie movie.
Oh my god, you freaking idiot. Yeah, it's the same as every other zombie movie because every other zombie movie essentially copies this movie's homework. Okay, either that or Night of the Living Dead.
I would say Night of the Living Dead.
But really, I think most modern zombie movies are more akin to this particular zombie movie, this particular Romero, than Night of the Living Dead. I think they share a lot more common, like the more action-oriented, usually some more laughs in it, versus Night of the Living Dead being much more mood ambiance. Still plenty of action, but more in-depth with kind of a character study, that sort of thing. I just think... No. This person's dumb. They're dumb. They're stupid. They don't appreciate fine cinema and the history of it. I'm upset.
What if I told you, and I'm not doing this to upset you, but what if I like Night of the Living Dead better? Is that
that's fine?
Is that offensive?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I think the black and white does it so many favors. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think it does it so many favors. I think if it were in color, it would not be as great.
But see, this movie has to be in color, right? Like, you need that vibrancy of the mall and all the weirdness.
I mean, the mall, I mean, it's supposed to be like a modern, they're doing good stuff there. And we got another one here from Drew. 3 stars. This is from back August 2020. Just a little COVID, baby.
Yep.
There's a lot to love, but also a lot to, not. It's really a great big mess. All the respect to George Romero, but this is tough. Definitely better than Night of the Living Dead, though. See, now I get to hate somebody.
Oh my God.
Drew,
them.
Eat my ass.
Oh, eat both of our asses.
Eat 2 asses.
With no jelly on it.
No jelly ass.
No. Drew is stupid.
I hate Drew.
Yeah, Drew. Look him up on LinkedIn and tell him to go himself.
People who are low on it, though. Now,
okay, come on. That wasn't low. Come on.
I know. People were either love this movie or were snidely against it. So check this out. You're going to you might be upset. You might want to put your fingers in your ears.
Okay, all right.
And I got 3 of these because people were upset. Okay. By the way, overall on Letterboxd, this movie is very highly rated.
This is a great movie.
People who didn't like it were extremely vocal. We got a 1 star from Simply Vanessa. This is from back in April of 2020, and even younger COVID, baby.
Okay. All right.
I'm so sorry for the people that think that this is a masterpiece. I truly hate this movie with all my heart.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry you're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like that, Vanessa?
Take that, Vanessa. How do you like that? Then we have Stort Little from July of 2019, pre-COVID. Right. I'm all about the COVID.
Yeah, right.
I'm not. I'm just saying. It's a zombie movie. It makes sense.
Yeah,
They say, I'm sorry, but this movie's so fucking boring.
What do you mean it's the part where zombies are eating people, the shootouts, okay?
It's a little dry in spots. It's a little dry in spots.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Like, the whole middle part can be a little, a little slow in places. But it's just building mood, It's
just building mood.
Some good. I hate it. I hate Stort Little. I hate him.
I hate him, too. I don't like him either. Then the last one here, we got another 1/2 star from Barry Parker. Look him up on LinkedIn. That's a real man's name. No one's messing around just nicknaming themselves Barry. You come with that one. October 2022. Hey. Mm-hmm. Your name's Barry?
Yeah.
All right. I normally don't review movies. I just, quote unquote, don't vibe with. But I gotta be the voice of dissent.
Already hate him. I don't vibe with it. Man.
I don't vibe with it, but I gotta be the voice of dissent on this one. This movie is terrible. There's no structure. We're just thrown into a random zombie apocalypse and mall shenanigans. The characters are thinly drawn and suck. The score is awful. This thing is ugly to look at. It's so dated and completely uninvolving. I was falling asleep trying to watch this. All this movie has are special effects, and the whole point of watching it seems to be, quote unquote, let's see how many zombies will get shot. You mad? You upset? You okay?
I've just hooked myself up to a blood pressure cuff. And it is 520 over 360. Is that high? Is that pretty high?
There's a man in the movie that died that way. You need to be careful.
That's great too. I love that. I don't know why. I don't know why Barry. I don't know why his parents decided to mate to make such a big. I don't know why they did that. They could have done anything else. They could have gone out to a nice dinner, but instead, his dad
They could have gone out to this movie.
Could have gone and saw. They probably did. They probably did, and they were like,
He's probably conceived of this film. He's not grateful at all.
yeah, and that's why his parents hate him so much because he's such a disappointment to come from such a great movie. You know,
The movie was so boring they conceived him in the middle of it.
okay, all right, easy, Travis. See, just the middle part though. Yeah,
Just there's a couple
those
dry parts right in the
bookends
middle.
are just fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, I do agree.
Man, all right. Well, I'm glad you took me through the ringer there. That was tough emotionally for you. You know this you know how David talked about how the season 6 of Facts of Life got in through some tough times on a previous episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
This movie got me through some tough times. Okay, so just bear
It sounds
in
like
mind.
it put you in some tough times. It just isolated you from society.
I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna find my way there either way. It was
Okay.
You can't blame the Dawn of the Dead. Well, let's talk about that plot now. Right out of the gate.
Now the movie opens with a woman trapped in a couch.
No, it's 1970s shag carpeting. I love that. So we get our first shot of Francine, who's going to be the ingenue, the female lead of the film, and she's sort of sleeping against this red shag carpeting in a TV studio and having a bit of a nightmare, having a bad sleep. And then the title card pops up, Dawn of the Dead. Now, Travis, we have, in fact, decided we are going to rate title cards on a scale of 0 to 5, okay, zombie guts, okay? You got piles of zombie guts, 0 to 5, all right? What are you giving this one? 0 being the worst and 5 being the best. What are you giving this title card?
Did I miss it? Where is the title card?
It's literally just some font that comes up on the screen that says Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, that's bad. Come on. Free Willy at least had some pizzazz. They hired a 14-year-old intern to play with word art.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love this movie unapologetically.
They could have done something.
I'm going to give it a 1. And that's just being generous because I like the movie a whole lot. But really, that title card's not hitting on much.
No.
What's your numeric rating?
I think 1. I think that's, yeah.
One's fair? Okay, all right.
Just
okay.
the fact that it exists, because I'm assuming not all movies have one, which would be a 0.
Yeah, eventually we'll have to encounter one that doesn't. But so back in the TV studio, it's pandemonium. She gets sort of roused from her unrestful sleep, and there's a lot of pandemonium going on. We get some talking heads who are kind of arguing back and forth, and really what they're doing is framing us some exposition. So maybe if we didn't see the original, Night of the Living Dead, we kind of understand that there are zombie creatures and they eat people and they come back to life. So we're kind of getting that information all the while. And I love this. I always love this part of like disaster movies or zombie movies specifically, where society's fabric is just starting to unravel and you just see the big gaping bloody maw of a zombie behind it. I just love
it's like
it.
Soylent Green without zombies. It's like you're just thrust right in the middle of like fresh chaos, I'll call it.
I love it. And there's a lot of argument kind of going back and forth. Francine works for the TV studio, and she's like, take off those rescue stations because a lot of those have gone offline. If we send people there, they're going to get killed. So we get a feeling that like Francine's probably a pretty decent person. She's a pretty good person. We get a little bit of cutting back and forth to the talking heads. We find out that in order to kill the zombies, we have to destroy the brain or sever it from the rest of the body. Again, things are kind of falling apart. The producer sort of yells at Francine for having taken these rescue stations off the air because he thinks they're going to lose viewership. And so she kind of just says, well, what are you going to do? Like, everybody's leaving, buddy. Like, people are kind of filtering out of the studio, leaving.
Yeah.
And
it's like, also, you're not going to get more viewership. People either tuned into this or
Or the
They're
zombies. Yeah, exactly. Which I don't know. I guess if you had a Nielsen box in a zombie household, it still counts. Still counts. They're still watching. You know? Well, about this time, Steven shows up. Flyboy himself. Now, Steven is her her boo thing. And he also...
She could do better, dude. I was going to say it right here off the top.
Oh, hey, come on.
Come on. She could do better than this guy.
No, I mean, look,
There's two other studs in this film that I'm like, come on, drop that zero. Get with one of these heroes.
Well, now, hold on. Steven, we don't know what Steven was like in his life, but number one, he was willing to not only obviously take his girl, his lady, but his boy. He said, Raj, come with me, man. I got you. But anyway, we'll get there. So we see Steven show up, and he says, you got to be on the roof at 9 o'clock. I'm going to pick you up in the helicopter. Later in the film, we kind of find out he was sort of the head traffic guy for this television station. Again, there's just like screaming and pandemonium going on while this whole scene's happening. And as he walks away, he's like, don't make me come look for you, I'm worried or whatever. And one of the camera operators turns to her, and he has this just fantastic line, and he actually delivers it really well considering this is the only line he has in the film. He basically tells her, hey, just go ahead, our responsibility here is finished. I just love that line.
I mean, I don't confront many of high stakes workday, but that's the kind of way I want to go out on a Friday, in
a chaotic zombie apocalypse. Well, that's the gist of what's happening at the TV station. Now we're going to cut away to the SWAT team and some National Guard outside of an apartment building because they believe that the residents are hiding zombies in there, right?
Like it seems like the resident maybe they're squeamish about actually killing them, or they're saving them to maybe hope for a cure. Is that what I'm supposed to pick up from all that?
Later, Peter and Roger are having a little bit of a discussion, when they reach the hellish basement.
He says they still think there's worth in
respect and death. So
respect and death.
They wanted to honor their traditions or whatever. There's no way around a couple of things. The first is there's some very obvious like brown face, black face makeup done to make white people appear to not be white people for some of the characters in this. So that's just needs to be said. There's also a character who is just blatantly racist.
Just the worst human being.
He's just screaming like racial epithets about like that's not the right word, racial slurs, let's say, about people that are in this particular apartment building, and talking about how he wants to like kill them all, and everybody's like, hey, you need to just settle down a little bit. Well, Roger is number one alarmed by this guy's talk, so he turns to the rookie beside him and he's like, hey man, just take it easy, be calm, and you're going to be okay. And right about that time, some of the residents kick open the door because they're trying to escape and start shooting at the SWAT team, and this guy gets popped in the head.
Right square in the head. Oh, rough way to go.
But we do get to meet Roger and kind of get a sense of him. He seems like a pretty good dude. He's going to be one of our main guys that we follow. He sees his friend killed, and he kind of runs around the corner, and he has one of the residents at gunpoint. He's like, hey man, just put the gun down. And then the guy tries to run away from him. He's like, don't go out there, they're just gonna shoot you. And of course the guy's trying to run away. Yeah, he gets gunned down. Well, everybody on the SWAT team kind of heads into the apartment building, and again, there's a lot of chaos. I love this. I love the chaos. I love the like confusion. They've shot in some smoke grenades, all that sort of stuff. And they're kind of trying to clear these apartments. Now, the racist guy just starts going nuts in this place. He's just shooting everybody. Now, this apartment building has a very diverse variety of tenants. And so, obviously it feeds into his angry racism rhetoric. And there is this scene here where he just kicks open an apartment door and just shoots a guy and his head explodes, which Tom Savini was being interviewed about that particular scene. Now, if you don't know who Tom Savini is, he's kind of very famous in Hollywood for practical effects and as a performer. And apparently he put like like shrimp salad and all kinds of weird stuff in the head that explodes, and actually shot it with a shotgun to get that effect, which is pretty cool.
I love his work.
So eventually, Roger tries to stop the racist guy from his rampage and gets kind of knocked down. And we see a tall drink of water and a gas mask, bang, shoot the guy's name's Wooly, the racist guy, and kill him. And there's some chaos, and he kind of walks away. And as we go into the apartment that Wooly has just kicked the door open on and fallen down dead, and we see some zombies in there. And
yeah, and they're just having a picnic. They're just hanging out, just on the floor, writhing bits and pieces all over, gnawing on each other. It honestly, it looks like an opium den if people resorted to cannibalism.
And so Roger is kind of going in there, and there's a guy that looks like Chris Rock who's in there as one of the SWAT team members, as well as another guy who looks like a super young David Spade. I don't know if I was on an SNL kick with this, but that's just how the two SWAT members look. And they're in there with Roger, and they kind of get attacked by these zombies. Roger's trying to help. He ends up killing one, but another zombie who kind of looks like Richard Pryor walks out of the apartment. Again, it must be an SNL thing. I don't know.
The priest, right?
No. It's just another guy walks out of the apartment who's a zombie while they're
maybe thinking too far ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, you're about a scene ahead. The long and short of this is the zombies hurt Chris Rock, and David Spade shoots the zombie that's after him and is racked with guilt, and he kills himself and offs himself in the apartment. So it's a pretty hectic traumatic scene. Now after that, Roger goes down to the basement of this apartment building to just kind of try to clear his head after he's seen all of this carnage, and that's where he meets Peter for the first time, and they have a little bit of a tense standoff as Peter doesn't know if he's going to be upset that he killed this other member of the SWAT team. Wooly was the guy's name.
Yeah.
And Roger's like, yeah, I didn't see nothing. We're good. I didn't like him. We used to go to Applebee's every Thursday night. We never invited him.
Never once.
We knew
and they
how
had
he
some
was.
Good deals at Applebee's, especially on Thursdays.
Yeah, well, not for Wooly, I'll tell you that.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, they share a cigarette, and Roger says they kind of talk about running away from this situation, trying to flee or, get away from their responsibility. And he says there's a helicopter. And right about that time, this is when the old priest comes out of this basement door.
This is the part I was thinking of earlier. My bad. But this is where you pans to a bunch of zombies writhing on the ground. Just it's where they're storing them.
Yeah,
this is the zombie chute.
Yeah, I guess they dropped him in like an old coal chute or something to get him in the basement. Yeah. But the priest comes out and he has a little bit of dialogue with them. He's missing a leg, and he's just a great character, I think. And he has this line where he's like, "Yeah, right now you're stronger than them, but I think soon they're going to be stronger than you." And then he just coughs his way and wheezes up the stairs off to die, I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
He wasn't doing real good. They then proceed into the room that the priest came from, where he was giving the last rites to all of these zombies, essentially. Mm-hmm. And in an interview I was watching with the actors that play Peter and Roger, they said that this was so gross to them. Like this whole scene where they walk in and just because they didn't know what to expect, and then just people are just gnawing on legs and eating raw meat and stuff off the floor, and there's just blood and dead people everywhere. They were like, I thought it was really gross, and I told George, I said, this is a little too far, and he's like, yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Tom Savini's got his wiener out. They're like, Tom, it's okay.
Tom, put the Savini away.
But it is a great scene with the zombies. I really like it. It is. Yeah. It's one of the more, I don't know. It's like it's a creepy scene without having to go too far into the gore. It's just like the idea of this storage corner for half dead zombies is. I mean, you can imagine. I can smell the scene.
Oh yeah, it smelled like damp basement, and then like kind of iron, and then like feet, and just
Yeah, I didn't really
hot.
parse it out, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a lot of ugly parts in there. And Romero said that he felt like he needed the gore to kind of set this movie apart a little bit, and I was like, man, you got it, buddy.
Yeah, the movie needed something here.
Wow.
This was perfect.
Well, Roger and Peter proceed to kind of mercy kill all of the zombies, and we even see like an emotional impact. Peter's got like that tough guy, that one tear, dripping down his cheek.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
It tickles the cheek. Don't touch it. You let that tear go all the way down. You feel it. Yeah, you feel it.
You just feel it.
It's a tough guy move.
Now, it's worth mentioning that one of the notable things about Night of the Living Dead was it had a black or African-American heroic character that was kind of the lead of the film, and that was controversial. And that continues in this film as well, as Peter is an African-American gentleman. So it was something that I guess Romero was really committed to, and kind of being a little more progressive in his casting. And even if you think about Francine, she kind of starts out as this sort of wilting flower, and then she ends up being like tough,
fragile damsel. But
yeah,
she has like a traumatic. I don't know what you would call it in theatrical terms, but she has a moment where things like kind of switch for her, where she kind of has to.
Yeah,
be strong or be dead.
It's dangerous, So I've always appreciated that about these movies, to kind of have such a progressive tone. I like it a lot. So we see on the roof that Francine has been picked up by Steven, and they're kind of looking for a fuel location. So they stop at this fuel depot. And everybody dead. There's just dead bodies everywhere.
This movie should have just been called Fuel Depots Are Dangerous, because I feel like that's the crux of the plot. It's like we only go where the fuel depots allow us, and we don't want to go there because they got zombies.
That's so many zombies. So this I think is also where they're going to meet up with Roger and ostensibly Peter, which they were not aware that Peter was coming along, but they ended up being glad he did.
Yep.
So Roger shows Francine how to fuel up the helicopter and goes inside to check on the operator. He finds him dead, and he kind of radios that in. Well, while he's doing that, this group of, I'm just going to call them marauders, who I think are impersonating police officers, is what we are meant to kind of believe, pop up and are threatening Stephen and Francine, considering stealing the helicopter. And right about that time, right as that kind of is getting a lot of tension. What's that word? That's it. That's the word, tension. There's a lot of tension.
Tension's in.
Yeah.
That's what I would call
it.
it.
Yeah, got a lot of that going on. That's when Peter and Roger kind of show up and kind of, they're a little bit tougher guys. Yeah. So they de-escalate everything. They all talk about how they're running, and they decide not to kill each other, which I think is a positive thing.
Great outcome. Yeah. I mean, we need to kill the zombies, not the people.
And everybody's a little guarded. And there's just one guy who's like slightly cross-eyed, who seems to not be like as bad as the other marauders that he's with. And he's like, "Where are you guys going?"
It's because he sees two of everybody. He's like, "Guys, we need to calm down. There's 30 of us out here."
They're like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm going to an island." "Which island?" "I don't know, any island."
Honestly, when he said that, I was like, yeah, go to any island.
Yeah, any island. That's got to work, right? And one of my favorite bits in this movie, I absolutely love this. He's like, "Do you guys have any cigarettes?" And they're all like, "No, we don't have any cigarettes. Sorry." Yeah. And then immediately upon takeoff, they all start smoking. I love that.
You don't share smokes in the apocalypse, dude.
I would not with somebody that just like was threatening me with a gun. I'd be like, "No, you guys, you go ahead and have them."
I love this island idea, but.
Yeah, not bad. Then they take off in the helicopter. We've got Peter, we've got Roger, we got Francine, and we got Steven, Flyboy himself. And there's a little bit of discussion between Francine and Peter about who they're leaving behind. And there's a line here where he's like, "I'm leaving behind some brothers," and she's like, "Do you mean street brothers or brothers?" And he's like, "Well, both." Realistically.
I mean, fair question, but maybe worded incorrectly.
I think probably could have been.
Could have been like, "Oh, who do you mean?"
Yeah, who do you mean? Was it your stepbrother, or you got is it Will Ferrell? I don't know.
I wouldn't even offer him examples. I would say, "Who do you mean?" And then I would stop talking because I don't know I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, I would have been in that. I would have been like. I don't know, man. I just get like uncomfortable in enclosed spaces with people, so I think I'd have been farting.
In a helicopter? I get nervous farting all the time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be scary stuff. So anyway, we would bond really quickly in the apocalypse. But they're flying around, trying to find somewhere safe to go. And they fly over Johnstown, and they remark that, these rednecks are probably enjoying it. And sure enough, the rednecks really were enjoying it. They were all like drinking coffee and beer and just popping zombies. And this has always been my problem with the slow-moving zombies. I grew up in a rural area. I grew up here in the United States of America, where you could just get guns out of a vending machine, But
I mean, yeah, like, wide open fields, wide open spaces. They're lumbering. They're not driving a car. We'd see them coming for a while. That's where you're safest. It's the city streets where everything, turn a blind corner. The worst place to go during a zombie apocalypse, Kevin?
Where's that?
The mall.
Nah, it turns out it's the best. Oddly enough, I will say though, I did always think that was weird. That like the zombies are never going to take over in the rural South or whatever, rural Pennsylvania, just because everybody's got guns and are just gonna shoot them
and sightlines.
Sightlines, and they're slow zombies. Now you get yourself a 28
a runner
days
or some
later.
Of them,
the running zombies. Now you might have some. They're gonna get there quick.
I want to be where Reba and what's his face is during the apocalypse. Bert. I want to be with Bert and Reba up on the hill.
They wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even know there were any zombies. Well, they continue to fly over, and they end up at another fuel depot.
Fuel depot number 2. Keep count at home, folks.
Yeah, keep count. It's a drinking game now, and so they start to fuel the helicopter. And Steven shows Roger how to do that. And then Steven and Francine and Peter in 2 separate groups. So we got Steven, Francine, and Peter as a separate group. I guess he's technically not a group. He's an individual, but you get what I'm getting at. Are going to kind of explore the depot to see if they can find anything of use. Peter finds a coffee machine that he kind of Fonzies. He whacks it on the side, and he gets some coffee out of it, so that's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah.
And Steven goes into the hangar to kind of look and see if there's anything they can use in there. And they kind of hear some noises, and Steven finds a hammer, and he whacks one zombie on the way out. And then he's kind of fleeing up the hill area there. And this has got to be some of the wackiest stage combat I've ever seen in my life. There's another zombie, and he runs up to the zombie, and he hits that zombie in the armpit with his arm, and they both fall down. Like, it looks like he's trying to wind up for a big swing, but it's just the wackiest thing in the world.
This is why I'm saying, and I think he was trying to impress Francine a bit, and she was like, "Come on, Steven, what are you doing? You can't fight. You're stupid. Let's go. Come on."
Well, back in the little office area where Peter's found the coffee machine, he starts hearing some zombie-like noises in the back room, and
one thing I'll say though, these zombies, they don't do as much growling and moaning as the modern zombie. These are a little bit quieter in their shuffling and moving, so a zombie noise is pretty rare.
No, for sure. They're a little quieter.
A little quiet, a little sneakier.
Well, we hear those zombie noises with Peter, and he kind of shoots through the door, maybe thinking he got him. And we cut back to Roger, and Steven's trying to warn him because I call him Flat Top.
Dude, he looks like Frankenstein. He's monster.
This
gotta say monster.
Is kind of wandering up, and he has just a complete flat head. Now, the reason for that is they decided they wanted to have a zombie get his head chopped off, or the top of his head chopped off by the helicopter. which is what happens to this zombie. He kind of climbs over some boxes and gets his head chopped off. I gotta say,
Pretty
this
obvious
is probably,
setup with that head, though.
Yeah, for sure. You see it coming, but this has got to be number one zombie kill of the movie for me.
Oh, you like that one? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I had to play it back because I was like, what happened to his... I didn't realize that it got hit by the helicopter blade. I just thought he had an aneurysm.
Even as a zombie, he had high blood pressure.
I was like, poor guy.
So the top of his head gets chopped off. And there's a little scene that goes down here where Steven is trying to shoot zombies and he's hitting them.
He's
but
so
not,
bad.
Yeah, well, he's hitting them, but not in the head. You know, he's
Francine
going...
could do better.
Yeah. So Roger just walks up and pushes his gun away and, you know, just headshot, double taps the zombie on the first try. And then Steven's
Roger's
like...
so handsome, dude.
He is, man. He's all right. Well, we cut back to the office where Peter is, and it turned out it was two children zombies. So he's just mercy killed these two children zombies, and turns around and there's another one walking in, which he could have easily killed, but Steven decides to point a gun in the direction of Peter and start firing at the zombie. So Peter dodges. And Roger does his thing where he knocks the gun out of the way, kills the zombie in the first shot. And then Peter comes out and just kind of, do you call it cucking or just embarrassing when he like pushes Steven down and points a gun at him? He's like, that's not so great, is it? It's not so great when somebody points a gun at you, is it?
He's got to learn the lesson. There's a few other times in this movie where one of their friends are tussling with a zombie and they have an open shot on the zombie. And now they hesitate to take it because they've seen Roger explode over this exact situation. They're like, I don't know what to do. Last time Roger got real mad when I tried to shoot a zombie that was on top of my friend.
Well, that is true. That is true.
Gun safety. He's a trained SWAT member, so I mean, he probably takes it a little more seriously than the other ones.
Yeah, I think so. Well, they get back. He doesn't kill Steven. He forgives him.
Unfortunately.
I don't know why you hate Steven so much. He's trying, dude. He's doing the best he can in a tough situation.
Trying ain't helping the group, dude. He's slowing them down.
Look, who finds the schematics for the entire mall and figures out how everything works? That's Steven. Who flies the helicopter? Steven. Who puts his own
Francine can
pride...
fly the helicopter.
Only after Steven teaches her how to fly it. Puts aside his own pride. You know, Travis, you got a lot of pride in your heart.
Her name's Fly Girl. She knows how to fly.
She doesn't know how to fly. He has to teach her.
She was just letting him teach her to fill his ego. She knew already.
Okay, well, that might be the case. I can't argue against that. Well, either way, they get back in the helicopter. They're flying through the air. They're trying to debate what they're going to do. They're running out of food. They're running out of fuel. And they end up flying over this mall. And they make the executive decision to land on top of the mall. It conveniently has a helipad. That's pretty sweet.
As a mall does, I guess, for the president.
Yeah, well, if the president wants to visit, I mean, you need to be prepared.
Now, Kevin, we talked about this earlier. I don't think a mall's now I know a mall's got a lot of stuff you could use.
Yeah.
I still don't think I would go to a mall. I know it's crawling with zombies. I may be trying to go to a rural mart somewhere that I know like sells hunting supplies, a hunting store in the middle of Vermont. That might be where I'm headed.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, that's not a bad plan either. You know, I mean, you're probably gonna need food. You know, I don't know that every mall has a grocery store in it, but at least this one.
Are there still animals in this world? Are there deer?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure
I'll be fine.
You know, they're those zombies.
I'm a gun away from infinite food, dude. I'm all right.
I don't know if you know how hard it is to survive a Vermont winter without being able just to go down to the local Hardee's. Okay.
Well, maybe I'll go down to local Hardee's. That's also a good idea.
It's okay,
it's not going to be jam packed with people. Not my Hardee's.
They put too much mayonnaise on their sandwiches, I hear.
Dude, so much mayonnaise on that Nashville chicken.
Well, there goes our Hardee's sponsorship. Great. Well, they end up deciding to check out the mall, and they do see a lot of zombies around below the mall, but they think, well, maybe they can get in. They see this little...
Maybe they can't get in the mall. Come on, guys. There's 54 entrances to a mall.
But they got to go through all the zombies, so they're up top, okay? And they spy through a skylight a room that seems to have a bunch of emergency supplies in it. And they're like, well, that seems pretty good. Let's check that out. So they smash the skylight and kind of climb down in there. And a little bit of time passes, not a whole lot. They kind of find some spam, and there's a joke about, they don't have a can opener, so it's like the perfect food. And there's some lines about why did they come here, and it's like, well, this was an important place in their lives, kind of tying into that commercialism sort of thing. But they eventually get into this little kind of secure area. It seems to be pretty okay, not a lot of zombies around. And so Steven, he's exhausted, man. He's been flying his helicopter for, I'm imagining, like 2 days. I think it's been like 2 days. He's been flying this thing.
I don't know how much fuel, because they stop at 15 fuel depots on the way here, and then they land here. And we know near the end of the movie, Francine says there's not much fuel in the helicopter. This thing gets 1 mile to the gallon.
I bet that mall had some fuel in it. I bet that's what it was.
You think so? You think it has helicopter fuel? I don't know what they take. Is it just unleaded 87? What are they taking? What are you putting in that?
No, they didn't. The gas still had lead in it back in the 70s. So.
Oh, you think they used 2-cycle? You think they had to mix it?
Yeah, probably. They had to do some of that chainsaw gas. Well, anyway, regardless of what they run it on, Steven is sleeping, and the two, Roger and Peter, decide to maybe check the mall out a little bit. And kind of see if they can find anything of use. So they're kind of coming up with a plan to check out the mall. And again, they leave Francine with a gun. Steven's sleeping. Eventually, Steven's going to wake up, but we'll get to that in a bit. They all kind of, Peter and Roger go down to the mechanical room, and they find the keys and some walkie-talkies. So they kind of got the keys to the kingdom, as it were. And they decide that they're going to... I love this decision because it just leads to like a wacky scene, but they decide to turn on the music and the fountains and everything in the mall to kind of cover the noise of them, running through the mall. And then it's just like wacky mall music to zombies confusedly riding escalators.
It's awesome. It reminds me of the game, and I didn't play through it, but I played a bit of it. Dead Rising, have you played that? Basically takes place... That has a lot of zany stuff like that. It reminded me of this, where it's just the contrast of fun, everyday mall, uplifting spirits, shopping music, and then just death and destruction and gore. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I will say Dead Rising is fun as just a zombie simulator. As an actual game that you want to play through and get that beat tweet out of, no.
It's a bit tedious, yeah.
It's too tedious. But as a zombie killing simulator, it's great. Speaking of, they do turn the power on to everything, and they kind of head out upstairs so they can kind of get a little look at what everything looks like. And they decide that they can make a run to, I believe it's the J.C. Penney's, just call it a Penney's back
It's
in
just
those
Penny's
days.
these days, yeah.
And they make that run, and they kind of, there's the old, oh my God, which key is it? And they get the door open, they get inside, and that's when the boys go a-shopping.
I love this scene. This reminds me of the scene from Zombieland when they are in like Bill Murray's house or whatever, where they just kind of have everything at their whim. They're running around the store excited about I can get a watch. I can look at all these mink coats. And honestly, I'd be the same way, man. If I got, the first place, GameStop, I'm going to hit it up. Sure, it's the apocalypse. Yeah, the power grid's going down soon. Load me up on games, though.
Yeah, well, now this mall still has power. Apparently, it's nuclear, is what they say. So there must be a nuclear power plant.
Close enough to 3 Mile Island. Well, we know how that turns out.
Yeah, it turns out it's great. Nothing bad ever happened there. So Steven wakes up, and he decides he wants to join the real men and try to help out.
See, now you're on my side. I can tell.
Well, I just get that vibe from him. He's like, they're crazy. He's like watching him on the security cameras like, they're crazy. They're nuts. And he's just got this big smile on his face like he wants to be one of the fellas,
He's trying hard for Francine. Now, I respect it. I've been this guy before.
Right.
I've been the try hard wanting to be the cool guy. But it's just so obvious from here looking in. I'm like, come on, Steven, you piece of shit. Just play it cool, bro. Just be yourself.
Well, he ends up in the mechanical room. And he kind of, oh God, there's just one bit I want to talk about while the boys are shopping in Penny's is, Roger runs by a mannequin and it scares him because he thinks it's a zombie. I just love that because later
there's a
it
lot
does
of
end up being
mannequin
a zombie.
gags. Yeah.
Well, as all that's going on, Steven heads down to the mechanical room, and I don't know any other way to say this than just he acts dumb. Like he's like, there's a zombie in there. Now he does find the schematics for the mall, which ends up being quite helpful. But he's like firing a gun that's just ricocheting all over this mechanical room at this zombie, just shadows of a zombie everywhere. And eventually the zombie ends up kind of on top of him. He's just shot his wad. He's got no bullets left in the gun. So then he's got to run away. Which I
just
love.
shake my head anytime he's on screen. Like,
I mean, look, this is his first time in a zombie apocalypse. He's got no training. Cut Steven a break, all right?
He never played Left 4 Dead or Dead. He doesn't know the value of conserving ammo and being quiet. I understand where you're coming from. But I'm just saying, come on, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Well, eventually he makes his way out to kind of where the fellas are, and they see him and they're like, "Wait, what are you doing? Stop it!" So
get away. We tried to get away from you. You were going to get us killed.
So they've loaded up all of these goodies into kind of a cart, wheelie cart that they can kind of wheel around. And their plan was to wheel it back, but now they got to figure out what they're going to do with Steven. So eventually they come up with a plan to get back. Well, let me walk back a little bit. Their plan to get back without attracting a bunch of zombies was to go to the first floor of the Pennies and bang on the doors to get all the zombies down there. And once they're all down there, they go back to the top and they run. So eventually, Steven's going to make his way out to the out of the mechanical room into the hallway. And they're like, "Hey, don't just run back up there. All the zombies are going to follow you." So he follows them back to the Pennies. And
that's when we come across the one zombie who's dressed as Maynard from Tool.
Yeah, it's a Hare Krishna, which is my favorite zombie in the movie. I love the Hare Krishna zombie.
Shaman Maynard. Come on, let's be real.
It does. They do have a very similar appearance to Maynard James Keenan. I will say that. So anyway,
it's all I could think about the entire time. It kind of ruined any scene with him in there because I was like 46 and 2 just ahead of him, for sure.
One of the things that I love about the remake, and we can talk about the remake later if you want to, if you've seen it, but they have a scene in the remake where the guy that's sort of trapped in the gun store across the way. The folks that are trapped in the mall like hold up a sign with a celebrity name, and then the guy that's across the way has to shoot the zombie that looks like that celebrity. So they're like Burt Reynolds. So that's what I always find out. Like I'm doing in these movies is like which celebrity the zombie looks like. Well, anyway. Yeah. They're running down to the bottom of the Pennies and this is we've got Roger, Steven, and Peter. They all managed to get back in the Pennies. And they're going to run down to the bottom to bring all the zombies down there. And as Roger is running by what he thinks is a mannequin, it turns out it's a zombie, and it jumps on him.
It jumps on him, yeah. And this is where we get the scene of like nobody wants to take a shot because we just saw Roger get mad earlier. But yeah. Roger has a plan. He found a screwdriver in that guy's pocket and fishes his brains out through his ears with a screwdriver.
Yeah, I love this.
I love that, yeah.
This is probably
also like that he didn't like stab the guy's head. He like meticulously found the ear hole while fending off the zombie and slowly inserts the screwdriver into the ear canal to hit the brain. Pretty badass.
It's pretty. I thought he just was practicing like it was a Q-tip, but
right. Not supposed to put those in your ears, Kevin.
Oh, really? What are you supposed to do with them?
Shove them in your ass.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they eventually end up at the bottom of the store. They're all laughing, having a good time. I feel like Steven is now part of the guys. Like he's part of the.
I don't know. He never gets there for me.
You would invite Steven over for like a game day at your house?
Nah, I'd invite him over and then try to murder him.
Wow, that's real mean.
I mean, in this world, because there's no law.
Well. They thank goodness for Steven, I'll tell you that, because he found those schematics, and they figure out that they can actually kind of climb up through some vents to get back to the room that they were in, and not.
I think the SWAT guys would have figured that out without schematics. I think the schematics
would have
helped a little bit.
That mall is huge. They would have gotten lost. Okay, they would have been they're bros, okay? They're ice cold killers, sure, but they don't know schematics. Okay,
They know schematic. Come on.
Not
They know
mall
schematic.
schematics. This is brand new.
The SWAT guy knows schematics.
Okay, I've seen Die Hard too. They probably know how to climb through vents. Okay, I'll acknowledge that. But it still was very helpful not to get lost. Yeah.
Sure, I'm saying it might have helped a little, but also we didn't need Steven. We didn't need him.
Okay, well, like, he's there, so, he also flew the helicopter. Nobody would be there without him. They'd all be dead in, Pittsburgh. Well, anyway, they do decide to climb back through these vents, but while all this is going on, the Hare Krishna zombie has made its way up the stairs where Francine is, and we get a little bit of, like, cross-cutting back and forth, where this zombie has kind of made its way into the room, and she's having to kind of fend it off. She's very scared, and the fellas are kind of heading back to the room to kind of, obviously regroup. That's their safe house, that sort of thing.
And that zombie just wants to ask her, why can't we not be sober?
Yep, that's your main nerd point.
Mm-hmm. I think he's trying to create a schism between Francine and Steven.
Jesus. All right. This is what we're going to be doing. Okay. I like
Sorry,
it.
I didn't mean to spiral out. I
need you to sober up a little bit, Trav.
Already made that reference. But that's okay. That's fine.
All right. Did you? Oh, yeah, you did make that, didn't you?
It was literally the first one I made. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to make you hold a grudge.
It's just that was a great one. That was
beating him at his own game. His own pun game.
No, that was a perfect circle, Trav. It brought you right back.
Oh,
yeah. I zigged when you thought I was gonna zag. Well, anyway. The Hare Krishna zombie shows up, and there's a little bit of back and forth whether they're going to get there in time. They get there in time, and they kill her, but Francine is very kind of upset and shaken up by the situation. There's also a flare fight scene. The lights somehow get cut out, and she has a flare, and that's pretty fun.
Obviously inspired by Star Wars.
Obviously. Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of, too.
She got that flare saber.
But they end up everybody's safe, but she's very upset. The next scene, everybody's kind of eating good. All right, they've grabbed some good stuff. They're eating caviar off of crackers and having a little bit of whiskey. Got some Jack Daniels number 7. Mm-hmm.
Kev, this is where. How long do we know how long there has been a zombie outbreak?
I don't think we know. I think we still know it's fairly close to the beginning. I mean, we're not like 2 years deep at this point. We're probably maybe a couple weeks in.
Because Night of the Living Dead shot in, I don't know, a few years before this. But the calendar on the wall when Peter enters that one room where he gets the coffee is November 1977. So I don't know how long between the two movies, or even if I'm supposed to look that far into the universe. But what I do know is I don't think I would eat that caviar.
Everything in the store. I have that question later, too, because they're eating like leafy greens at dinner one night. And I'm like, where are they getting fresh salad? Like, that's... But again, plot holes. Who cares? They've got freezers. I don't know. Whatever. Caviar is canned though, so it probably lasts a decent amount of time. I'm gonna tell a little more about the plot. Why don't you look up how long caviar lasts in cans? I'm sure people are dying to know. That's why they tuned into this podcast. So they are eating, drinking, smoking. And Francine is not in the room. She's PTSDing in the other room. She's very upset. And this is when Steven divulges that she is, in fact, pregnant, that she's very early along. And then we kind of cut to the other room because she's overhearing them talking. She's also smoking while she's pregnant. She clearly smokes and drinks while she's pregnant during this film, which I don't recommend to anybody. At that point, the pregnancy and the weight of that sort of sets in on the fellas, the three guys, and Peter offers to perform an abortion. I was like, what? How does he number one, how does he know how to do an abortion? And number two, do you think you ought to ask the lady that might be that seems like the way to handle that, not asking the fella.
I'm certainly pro her choice. Also, unrelated, maybe 6 months.
Oh, that's not long.
Sorry, caviar. I just want to say.
Yeah. No, that's
the way that he just brings it up. So he's like, I could do it. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen. Like, we watched Dirty Dancing, and there was at least some amount of like consternation about having to perform one of those. But this guy was like, I mean, hats off to Peter's being very brave, but he's like, hey, if you want one, pretty sure I could do it. I've watched a YouTube video. I read the manual on a baby. I think I could take it out.
Yeah,
I think I could do it.
I'm pretty sure that they made a wise decision to turn down this offer. I just think, it was probably a bad decision. I mean, who knows? It's the apocalypse.
You just kind of met Peter in a weird way. He just walked out of the shadows looking like one of your men. And he's been hanging around you, and now he's just offering abortions. It's like, I like you, bud, but you're going to have to cool it on someone else.
That escalated very quickly.
We're going to have to hang out longer than a helicopter ride before
Peter, I don't even know your middle name.
I don't even think you got a last name, Peter. What's your last name?
Washington, actually, is the character's last name, if you're interested. So anyway, that whole conversation is breached. Fran does stand up for herself because she overheard the conversation. She's like, I'm not going to be some den mother to you guys. I need to be included in all the decision making. So they do debate what they're going to do next, and everybody kind of decides that they're gonna stay there for a while. Now we get a little bit of like passage of time, that sort of thing. We get more exposition, so there are still TV broadcasts at this point. Somehow, right? And we learn a little bit more about the zombies and that just frankly things are looking real bad. So we're getting some more information and a little passage of time of about the zombies and kind of what they're like, and some more information about how bad things are getting from some talking heads. There are still TV broadcasts at this point in the film. And we just get some crosscuts of just zombies doing stuff in the mall. They're throwing mannequins over the side and messing with cash registers, that kind of stuff. And as I mentioned, Francine kind of stands up for herself a little bit. She does want to be a den mother, and she wants to learn to fly the helicopter. And that
she already knows, but she wants to give Steven the satisfaction of having mansplained something in the 70s.
Well, that does sound immensely satisfying, but Steven doesn't want anything to do with it. It hurts his pride a little bit, and he's kind of mad about it. But he
wow, what are you thinking I might die or something, for instance? What are you thinking? You thinking this baby's just going to grow up and be some kind of bastard out in the apocalypse without me, Steven? Cool guy Steve?
He does have a sweet jacket. Tell me what you think of that jacket.
Honestly, I would date him for the jacket.
No.
It's a good jacket.
Yeah, cool leather jacket, fur lined, huge collar on it. It's a nice look.
A man does not a jacket make.
It does not. Well, they do also come up with a plan on how to kind of block up the entrances to the mall. And that plan is going to be to push some trucks, some semi-trucks, or drive them, rather, in front of the main doors, and then lock the doors from the inside. So they're planning for this. So Steven is going to be...
Plan.
Yeah, pretty good plan. I think it's good.
I like
right?
that plan.
Yeah,
I like that plan. It's only a good plan if you keep your bag on you at all times.
Oh boy, we're gonna get there. Trav. So Steven is providing air support to the boys while they drive the trucks. And I could get pretty pedantic in telling you about this scene, but essentially what happens is Roger keeps. You know how they say, "Keep it tight, man. Stay sharp. Keep it tight." Roger just keeps getting looser and looser during this scene. They get the first truck there. And Roger's kind of like whooping and kind of getting wild, and so they head back to get the second truck, and Peter's kind of turning his truck around, and Roger gets attacked while he's hot wiring the truck. And with Peter's help, and Flyboy, he's like flying the helicopter close. He's like, for God's sake, look up, you moron. But Roger, close call, but manages to kill the zombies with Peter's help. So they park the second truck, but at this point, he's shook. All right, he's even looser at this point.
Got attacked in close quarters. I don't know. Now, Kev, I've made love in the front seat of a semi truck before, and I got to tell you, there's not a lot of room for getting around. So you try to maneuver around a zombie, and it wasn't with a lady. It was kind of move around a zombie and all that. I would be shocked too. It'd be you'd be covered in sweat. You'd be scared to death. You would. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine what Roger's going through right now. He's probably forgetful.
Well, he's sitting there dripping with zombie blood. And Peter's like, man, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm perfect, baby. And you're like, you're not. That's not something that somebody who's perfect would say.
Can't even confirm if that blood isn't yours. Like, it could be your blood, Roger.
It could be. And he
Why
also
do you think
does
Roger was like this, though, Kev? What do you think happened here with Roger? Why did he lose focus?
I think that he is one of those people that always thinks he's going to come out ahead because he always has. Like, he's always survived things, and he's always, succeeded, no matter what. So he's very confident and prideful, and so he kind of he's getting a little bit of that adrenaline dump. He's very like jazzed up, and I think all that kind of comes together to make him make some poor decisions.
Okay. All right. Plus, driving a truck makes you feel like a man.
It is pretty sweet. Well, you know what doesn't make you feel like a man is when you drop the second truck off, if you forget your hot wiring gear in a bag.
Forgot my bag. Oh, forgot his bag. Now, at first you're thinking, no big deal, just go get the bag. But it's not going to be that easy, Kev. And honestly, this is, I know how the movie ends. This is the saddest part of the film. This is the saddest part of the film right here.
It's rough. It's rough. But what happens is Roger forgets his bag. They go back for it. He kind of does this, and this is pretty smart. They kind of back one of the trucks in so that when they open the two doors, there's like a little corridor between the two trucks so the zombies can't get in. And he gets his bag, and then he drops it. He drops the stupid thing as he's trying to come back across. Yep, I know. He's like Travis Kelce in that Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? But he tries to get back across. He drops the bag, and that's when he ends up getting bit a couple of times. Not just once or twice, but a couple of times by the zombies. And he knows what it means.
To convey to the audience that he's fucked.
That is exactly what it is conveying. And
one bite on the leg, you're thinking, amputate that thing.
Yeah, we just...
But a couple other bites, you're like, oh, my guy's ruined. They ruined Roger, maybe. Maybe I don't know, he's kind of the comic relief of the movie.
Little bit. He's the wisecracker, But yeah. He says, he says, oh, I'm fine. You just got a lot of stuff to do before you can afford to lose me, man. So they keep parking the trucks, so they get all the entrances blocked off. Now we head back to the safe house, and they're kind of making plans. Steven, obviously Roger is now incapacitated. He can't move as well. He's been bit. So he's getting some medical care from Francine as best as she can provide. So Steven and Peter decide to go load up at the gun store. So they kind of crawl through the vents. And I feel like this one is like the scene that everybody wants to do in the zombie movie where you're just like loading up and you got like 2 6 guns and a bandolier full of shotgun shells. Like it's awesome.
I don't really have a thing for guns, but I do want a gun store to myself. There's just something about that. I also love this scene too because they got Roger down in the wagon and he's kind of like a rolling turret. He's tucked away like was it like the Untouchables where they got the baby in the carriage with the gun? He's kind of like that.
And he's very essential. So they head back to the department store. That's kind of their base of operations out in the mall area. They're going to try to kill off all of the zombies in there and get those they're going to try to lock all the doors from the inside. So we're going to try to do this time. And I won't belabor this, but they basically decide. I think Francine comes up with the idea to use one of those cars that's in the mall. You know, they do like giveaways in the mall sometimes where they have cars. They have a Volkswagen with a hatchback in it. So there's a whole lot of drama here, but essentially they get Roger in the wagon and Steven and Peter into the car, and they zip around the mall, locking all these doors. Now, poor Roger gets bit again while he's trying to hotwire the car, and they end up being successful, though. They get all the doors locked, so now the mall is theirs, and they decide
Is
to
that the scene where she, we're somewhere near here, she, like, I say she, I'm talking about, like, just a random lady zombie, like, squeezes his wound and it just busts.
Yeah. That's where she's
gross.
like biting and like squeezing, and just the blood pack or the squib, I think they call it. It's just gushing everywhere.
It's so gross, man. That of all the scenes, that one got me for some reason.
That would get you? It's like,
I don't know. It's just all that blood squeezing out of a wound. You ever had a boo-boo? You just touch it after it's sore a little bit. It's like, ow, come on.
That hurts. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, poor Roger's going to die. Anyway, they managed to lock up all the doors. The mall is there, so then they just go on a hunting spree and kill all of the zombies, is kind of the gist. And now they've got the mall to themselves. And we kind of are getting into the aftermath of the great zombie massacre. Roger, he's not doing good. He's not doing so good. But they give him some drugs, and that seems to settle him down. I'm going to guess morphine. Maybe there's a pharmacy in this mall. I don't know. But they give him some...
70s malls were different.
They were, man. They had caviar and morphine. You just
caviar, guns, and drugs. You can't beat a 70s mall.
You really can't. So he gets his good drugs, and he kind of settles down a little bit. And they're kind of back in their safe house area, which increasingly gets better decorated and has more fun stuff in it. But
yeah, there is I don't know if this scene's coming up. Sorry if I'm jumping ahead, but there's like a video game montage here in a few where I was like, okay, now we're having fun.
Yeah, that's where they are enjoying the mall. They decide what they're going to do is build a wall, to kind of a false wall to block off the entrance, so nobody would know where their little safe house was should they come prying around.
They should have never told Steven about it. That's for sure.
That does end up being kind of a problem. So they do that. They then load up all the dead zombies and put them in cold storage. They put them in their fridge with all the food. Like, what are you doing? I mean, I get it, but like, move.
It's probably Steven's idea, to be honest.
Okay, you can't blame Steven for that. He wasn't even helping carrying them. He was too busy talking to Francine while she was throwing up, and she told her to leave.
Primping in the mirror with his sweet jacket.
Dude, he does have an excellent part in his hair. I'm just gonna say, like, that man's.
Yeah, he really does, man.
He parts to the on the left side. It's well manicured.
Mm-hmm,
but they put all the zombies into the cold storage instead of moving the food out. Maybe the food was already bad. I don't know. And then they now have the mall to themselves. They built their fake wall, and we just get a montage of them doing mall stuff. Like they're robbing the bank. They're just taking all kinds of money out of the bank. They go to the arcade. And there's a little bit of foreshadowing. Poor Roger's playing this like racing game, and his car crashes, and he just gets this confused, sad look on his face, and you're like, oh, it ain't gonna turn out good for Raj. But they also kind of are walking out. And they've got like fur coats on and like nice clothes, and they're kind of standing over the on the second tier of the mall, looking at all the zombies outside. And this is where we get that kind of famous line about hey, what's going on or whatever. And Peter says there's no more room in hell. It's something my granddad used to say back in, I think, Trinidad, maybe is where he was from.
That's my favorite line of the movie, though.
And
it's also one that was oft quoted in the Letterboxd 3,000 word reviews. Everyone loved that one, yeah.
It's a good one. It's great.
It is really
ambiance.
good.
You heard like,
We should finish the quote, though. It's my granddaddy said, yada, yada, that when something to the effect, I'm going to have to paraphrase because I don't remember, but when hell is full, that's when the dead walk the earth or whatever. So implying that's what's happening right here, dude. The hell's full, so they're here with us.
Well, Travis, I don't know how to tell you, but the good times can't last. It can't all be mall arcades and caviar.
What were we expecting, though? I'm like, guys, come on. What was the long-term plans here?
Yeah. We get to see a few happy scenes with Raj before we cut back to the stronghold, and Raj is real bad off. And so they give him some morphine, and Peter offers to stay with him. And there's a little bit of dialogue here between Peter and Roger, where Roger, kind of is a little confused and disoriented, and he says, like, you'll take care of me when it's time, right? Like, I don't want to be out there walking around like one of them.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I might say the same. But I wouldn't want to put that pressure on a buddy. I would be like, hey man, if you're feeling it, go ahead and pop me one. If not, hey, just toss me down there amongst them.
You're like the most polite zombie ever, If
you're feeling it, I don't want to pressure somebody like, hey man, it's going to be dramatic for you. Will you shoot me in the fucking head in about 3 days?
Okay, Travis. Let's say you and I are in this situation, and I go, hey Travis, I need you to shoot me. Pop! I'm not even a zombie yet. What are you doing?
Uh-oh, guys, I think I killed him already. What was he going to say? What do you think he was going to say?
That's fine.
Guys, do you think he was about to... What was he going to say? What was the rest of the sentence?
I appreciate you. I've had a good run. It's fine. I'm not worried about it.
He's at peace.
I really am. Well, yes, and Peter agrees to do this for Roger, but he says, I'm going to try not to come back. I'm going to try not to. But if
I like that. I like that, too. Like, could you imagine you die and you're transitioning and you're just like... trying your best not to turn into a zombie.
Are you trying not to turn into a zombie or drop a log?
I mean, I imagine it's the same strain. I don't know. You got to lock up. You got to get tight.
Get tight. He was too loose. That was a problem all along. I told you. You got too loose. Alas, Roger does come back as a zombie, and Peter does kill him. Now, while that scene is going on...
No ceremony there, Kev. Well, I mean, we just lost Raj.
I mean, I was just bang, Travis. But while we're getting a little cross cut of some talking heads, so there's still TV broadcasting. I love the little talking heads during this scene, too, because he's like, dummies. It's just a man in an eye patch calling everybody dummies. I don't know.
What is with that guy? I don't understand.
I think they were
didn't understand.
We need something to make. First of all, he's being interviewed by Jim Croce, which I love, and he just needed an eye patch. It adds something. I can't tell you why it adds something, but you need it.
I couldn't figure out if he was somebody that we should be trusting, or if he was a crazy person that had usurped some power to get his message out.
He does come in hot with what his ideas are. Number one, he says we should be eating the zombies, and number two, that we should be using nuclear weapons. So this talking head he's gone over the edge. But
hey, nuclear weapons work on hurricanes. They probably work on zombies.
Yeah, I'm sure. What could go wrong? Well, Roger's dead, and we're gonna drop the bombs, but.
Yeah, bring it up again.
But they decide to bury...
By the way, Roger looks like Tom Petty.
Oh, yeah.
Like a real sick Tom Petty at the end.
I do want to talk about that. This is probably the best zombie makeup in the movie. Like
100%.
They gave Roger his dues on this one, man.
They really did. Because a lot of the other zombies don't have zombie-colored hands. It's just powdered face.
But he looks great. I will say, if I were ever to be cast in a zombie movie, I don't want to be one of the survivors. I want to get killed so I get to be a zombie at some point. That would just be too much fun. Well, they bury Roger next to the fountain that he loved so much. And then they practice shooting.
On some mannequins. That's fun. Yeah. That'd have been fun.
Yeah. And Peter, he is just a good dude. He hooks up the couple with a nice romantic evening. So Flyboy and Flygirl, he cooks them a nice meal. This is where they have leafy green vegetables that have somehow survived in the mall. And he kind of goes out to Roger's grave, and he's sipping a little champagne and a little maudlin, thinking about his dead friend. And we cut back to Steven, and Flyboy gets shot down. He tries to propose to Francine. She's like, no, it wouldn't be real. And just she doesn't throw the ring at it, but she gives it back. It's like, dude.
Love that. I was like, yeah, my girl knows. She knows she could do better. She's been eyeballing Peter since that helicopter scene 4 acts ago.
It is not. They are. Listen, they have a complicated relationship, but they're trying. Okay.
She's seeing a real man in action. She's like, Steven's not it.
I really feel like you're being too hard on Steven here.
I think I'm being hard enough. He just got shot down so when people say like I wouldn't screw you if it was the end of the world. That literally happened to him.
Well, yeah, kinda. Maybe, but poor Steven. Justice for Steven. More mall stuff happens. Is the only way I know how to say it. There's kind of a montage, and people are getting
kind of the low point of the movie here. After Roger passes, there's a little bit of time here where I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, let's do a little more. Well, sometime later, Francine is now more pregnant, and she's drinking and smoking, which I love. Kind of in their apartment safe.
How much time do you think passed?
I mean, it's a pretty big step up in the way they've got things decorated. I'm going to say at least a month, maybe 2.
A month? Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty visibly pregnant at this point, so I would think at least 3 months maybe has passed.
Okay.
Well, they've kind of been out there in the mall now. Things are getting pretty grim. There's no more TV broadcasts, but they still have fresh produce, so that's nice.
Somehow.
And so they kind of sit down at a dinner, and a little family dinner, Peter and Flyboy, Flygirl. And there's this little back and forth between Steven and Francine where he wants to keep the TV on to see if a broadcast happens, and she just keeps turning it off. And they're just at the end of their frayed nerves, and she's like, what is this done to us? And so they finally decide that they're going to leave the mall. So we get a little bit of Francine pretending to learn how to fly the helicopter with Peter, and they're kind of preparing to leave. And that's when the Raiders show up. Now, not the football team, Travis. I saw you get excited.
It might have been, though.
Could have been.
It might have been.
Could have been.
It could have been. These guys are studs, dude. Bunch of handsome bros on some hogs.
But
coming in.
You've also got Tom Savini. He's going to be one of these Raiders.
Yes.
And
he's great. I love this reinvigorated the film right here, because there's about 10 minutes where I was like, could we please? And then I was like, motorcycle gang with Tom Savini in it? And a machete? A machete, Kevin.
He does have one of those. He also has a switchblade comb that he uses to comb his mustache.
Dude, he's so cool. And what I like to believe is Tom Savini wasn't acting. That's what I choose to believe.
No, I don't think he was. I think that was his comb, too. Like, I thought he brought it to the set. Well, the Raiders decide they want to take the mall. They kind of see the helicopter while Francine's learning to play, and they're like, well, that's how they're getting in. There's got to be a lot of good stuff in there. So they kind of...
Well, there's some foreshadowing earlier, by the way. They're talking about how the helicopter could give them away, and Roger kind of downplayed it and said, like, nobody's going to worry about that. Nobody's going to be worried about their own life.
Yeah, everything's going to be fine. And well, boy, was he wrong, huh?
You know what? Steven probably planted that idea in his head earlier. So.
Yeah, okay, again with the Steven hate. I just don't understand it. But they Raiders radio, and they're like, hey, there's only like 2 of us, and you can hear like 100 of them in the background. And so Peter and Steven know that they're going to have to maybe try to make it a little harder for them, so they've got time to get away. So the motorcycle gang is heading for the mall. There's just looks like 100 of them, maybe more.
But they estimate 20 when someone's like, man, there's got to be like 20 of them out there. And I was like, 20?
Yeah, no,
there's way more than that from what I saw.
Yeah, way more. So they realize the bad guys are going to get in, so they decide to lock up all the stores to kind of make it a little more difficult on the bad guys. And the bad guys, so they're kind of, you got to imagine Peter and Steven are sort of spread out in the mall, locking up these different stores.
Let's lock all these glass doors so the guys can't get in.
Well, they bring down the metal grate things. I mean, that's cool, right?
That's true.
Well, eventually the bad guys get in. It's just chaos. There's just zombies everywhere and bikers running around. And Peter and Steven have walkie-talkies, and so Peter says, hey, let's meet at the information station. Again, just chaos. They're like, the bikers are like pieing the zombies in the face and spraying them with seltzer water.
It's not unlike when the bikers raid the house in Weird Science. It is the same
similar.
feeling.
Very similar.
Yeah. The bikers in this time period, and I guess still today, just have a reputation for driving inside and ludicrously.
Yep. And eventually there's just lots of looting going on. I think at some point Tom Savini like puts his machete in a zombie's head. So there's some gore that's happening.
Oh, yeah. There's some cool stuff here. I mean, Tom Savini was like, okay, I'll be in the movie, but I get to use my machete and I get to do all the cool effects with like braining them and beheading them. And they're like, oh, Tom, go wild.
Go wild. Yeah. So they, lots of looting going on. And for some reason, they were already planning on leaving. But Steven, now that, look, I've been on Team Steven up until this point, but like he is making some bad decisions here. He gets angry. And he's gonna decide to start like shooting at the marauders, at the raiders, and so he does. He just starts shooting people and kind of making himself a target, which is very dumb. And then Tom Savini, just put Tom Savini rules. Great gore effects.
Dude, he does the best.
That's my notes on that. But Peter then gets involved in the shootout, and he's obviously a much better shot. Again, just general chaos is happening. Peter escapes. Tom Savini kind of spots him, and they're chasing him down. And Peter escapes into the ceiling, into the vents, and kind of pulls the ladder up behind him. Steven tries to take the elevator, and then that's when the power goes out. Now, I've mentioned I don't know if we've mentioned the elevator before, but there's an elevator in the Panties, the main department store that they're going into a lot, and that's how they accessed a lot of the vents. So he was going to try to use the elevator for that, but the power goes out, and right about that time, some of the bad guys come into the elevator and shoot him in the arm. So now he can't.
Dude, yeah, his arm explodes like freaking pinata.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Well, while Steven is in the elevator where the power's out again, he's gotten shot in the arm. He mistakenly leaves the walkie-talkie in the cab of the elevator. Again, just
people leaving stuff.
Going on. Yeah, people leaving stuff. Hang on to your stuff, people. In the zombie apocalypse, I'm going to need you to just kind of hang on to your stuff. Yeah. So he's kind of hanging out on the top of the elevator, nursing his arm. Now, the Raiders at this point are going to kind of start leaving, but, some don't get the memo. For example, there is a guy that decided he wanted to use the blood blood pressure machine and just gets his arm eaten off by zombies.
I don't know. Your favorite death was... Which one was it again?
Flat top. Flat top.
That was my favorite one.
That one?
Where the guy refuses to leave the novelty of
a blood pressure machine.
I can see my dad dying that way. My dad would die in a mall that way.
He's like, but it's so tight.
I gotta check my blood pressure.
I can't get my
Still
arm
squeezing
out.
it as he's getting all done.
I mean, it was pretty cool for the 70s. So, well, there's also, this is the scene where like one biker is just getting his guts ripped out of his tummy. So that's a pretty cool gore scene.
That's a good. I wondered if it does get gorier when Tom Savini comes on screen. It's weird how adding him into the movie somehow added all the gore effects. It's almost like, was he just asked to come in around this time? They were like, we're gonna need some more gore, Tom. He's like, got it. I'm on it.
I love the bites in this too. Like when zombies take bites out of people, it's like real ripping and tearing. It's really a good looking effect.
That's kind of his thing. Is we know what Tom Savini's thing is, but making things look real in a campy way.
Yes.
He really rides the line of ooh, that's gross, but obviously fake, but gross.
Yeah, and also the biker that gets his guts ripped out had Nazi paraphernalia on him. So I just I love
seeing him. Yeah, I wouldn't eat him. Probably taste
yeah. Well, because he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
But eventually, we cut back to Steven, and he's hurt. He's got that injured arm, so he's trying to drop back into the cab of the elevator to get the walkie-talkie, and that's when, of course, the doors of the elevator open, and in come the horde of zombies, and they start chomping on poor old Steven.
Yeah, which again probably tastes like I'm sorry.
All right.
You'll leave that in? You want me to try again?
Yeah.
Probably tastes like stale candy corn because he's such a piece of shit.
Travis! How dare you Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you what Steven does. He fights off like 6 or 7 zombies at a time to get them out of the elevator, trying to just get back to his love, Francine, and the elevator doors close. But Peter has heard all of this. And your hero, Peter, you know what he says? He says, "Damn it, Flyboy," and then he leaves him behind.
But he reckons I like this scene actually because it does show some consternation with the characters, some read between the lines. A lot goes unsaid, but you see him like, should I save Steven, that's always trying to get us killed, who's obviously got himself murdered in the elevator by a bunch of zombies. He's armed, but he's dying. Or should I save myself and by chance save Francine, who is with child? I choose Francine, and he did the right thing, leaving Steven behind. However, now that I'm thinking about it, he should have gone back because Steven was bitten, obviously. He could have gone back and just shot Steven in the head and saved us some headache.
Yeah, but he didn't do that. Instead, he went back to the kind of safe area where, or while the zombies were nom-nomming on Steven. Now, Steven, again...
They nom-nommed good, dude. They had like a pelvis out. They were cleaning the meat off of bones, dude. I don't know. There were bones here that aren't a part of a human.
Well, we get... while that's occurred, we get about, 10 or 15 shots of zombies fighting over biker meat. And we cut back to the safe area where Francine's like, look, he's dead. We need to leave. I'm like, geez, Francine.
She gets it.
But Peter's like, no, I'm going to wait and see if he makes it back. Well, Steven does make it back. The doors to the elevator get opened up and he has been zombified.
Yeah. Honestly, though, now, listen. As a human, Steven... garbage. Okay. But as a zombie, probably the best looking, best acting zombie in the film, dude. He's got the crimp walk. He's got an injured leg. He walks on his ankle.
Yeah.
For like, he's really good as a zombie, dude.
Yeah, dude, he kills it. And he ends up collecting a little horde of zombies to follow him back up to the safe area. And he makes his way in first. You know, he knows exactly where that false wall is.
He knows where the false wall is.
So he smashes it in because he's going to get some sweet, sweet human brains.
Interesting thing, though. I mean, like, you assume zombies, brainless, brain dead, are just out for meat, but clearly he has some consciousness, some agency over where he's going. He knows.
Now, how much do you know about George A. Romero's films after this one? And the zombie lore that he creates in those.
I guess I don't know as much. I mean, I've only seen this one and the preceding one. I didn't even see the remake of this one, so maybe I'm a little ignorant. Tell me.
So, in Day of the Dead, the film right after this one, it's kind of set in this government facility where this scientist is like essentially training zombies. So
I didn't see that one. That one's more funny, right? That's a more funny movie.
It's dark, but yeah, it's got comedy in it too. So
yeah.
And then even into Land of the Dead, the zombies are kind of learning how to like use tools and that sort of stuff. So like they're they retain some parts
clinging
of their
to
personality.
Something.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Interesting.
So anyway, Peter comes up and Steven comes up as a zombie and Peter dispatches him. He kills him.
Hell yeah.
And there's a little bit of quick dialogue between Peter and Francine where he just tells her leave. I don't want to do this anymore. and it looks like he's gonna commit suicide by either gun or zombie. Not exactly sure, but she's like, well, I'm not staying here and getting eaten. So she heads up to the helicopter, presumably now packed with all these fresh supplies. Also, just shout out to Steven's death scene. He does get splattered righteously.
Yes.
Like, it's so much blood. It's awesome.
It is. Yeah. It's kind of ceremonial. He gets like the best back shot out of the back of his head than any other zombie.
But Francine is going to escape, and Peter kind of goes into the back room, and he's, sitting there just kind of waiting for the zombies to get close to him. He's got the, the gun to his head.
I'm not sure what he's thinking right here. Like, I feel like he let her leave. He could also leave.
I just don't think he wants to do it anymore, man.
But you're this close. You're like the helicopter. You got to go up a ladder. You're on the roof. The helicopter, you got it right there.
No, I
You're
think
good.
he doesn't want to live anymore because it's such a horrible situation. I think that's where
But
he's coming
Francine
from.
needs him. He's there. He's got it. There's stuff on the heli. He gets to fly in a helicopter. What's not to
Travis,
love? I mean,
Travis, settle down. I've got some
good news. The circus. You go to Bill Murray's house.
Okay, you're mixing up your movies now. I've got some good news, Travis. He decides he does want to live, so
But why did he? Why did? I just don't know why it was a decision.
Life's hard. But anyway, he fights his way out. He climbs up and he grabs that thing where he he's on the side of the helicopter, and he finally makes it into the helicopter.
Francine managed to fly the helicopter 3.5 feet on her own. She managed to get it off the ground just to make it a lightly bit dramatic for him to climb aboard. Yeah. Also, we never mentioned this, but there's always this one zombie holding a rifle backwards for an hour. This zombie, he's been everywhere.
He's been busy.
He's kind of, he trades guns with him at the end to distract him.
I think he's originally the one that got like Roger's gun. Maybe I don't know. I can't remember.
He'd been on screen for a while. He'd been around for a long time.
You think it would have killed him though? I don't know. Anyway, it's a zombie, and they fly away into the dawn. So it is in fact the dawn of the dead, and that's the end of it, man. Trav, I love this movie. Not gonna lie.
You do love it. I have some fun poking at it. Obviously, it's iconic for a reason. I can't dispute that. Is it? I don't know if there are parts of it obviously that don't hold up, but I can see it. As a movie, I like. Let's equate it to video games. My favorite medium. Uh-huh. I'm a true believer in the Legend of Zelda. I absolutely believe it's the best game ever made. But it's really hard for me to convince people experiencing it now for the first time that that's the case, because it is rough around the edges. But it's like, for its time, what it did, what it led you to imagine, there was nothing else like it. It didn't, other than Night of the Living Dead, but this broke into a whole new sort of action type film. It does so much in 1978 that it's hard to convince people now, these young bucks out here, these zennials, that this movie is legendary. You don't have to love it, but you should at the very least respect of this movie.
You know what? Same way with Legend of Zelda.
Right?
Back you up on that. You gotta respect it.
Thank you.
Respect it. I think you made some very eloquent, good points there, Travis. I'm
rarely eloquent when I drink this much.
Well, you are talking about one of my favorite movies and saying favorable things, so I'm kind of biased, but it is that template for all of the zombie movies to come after. So if you've ever liked anything zombie, it's gonna be based on this. You just can't be, and you do have to think about the time it came out, late 70s, a really gore-heavy horror movie like this. It was so, and it was a low-budget horror. It just did so much right, so much good scratch. It had that political, social commentary that's so common in, horror movies now that you just... Yeah, just wasn't the case back in the day. So I love this movie.
And some of that might have been contrived happenstance. It just kind of works out nicely that the mall was favorable, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be symbolism through an artful eye. You can see it that way. Also, I really like that this movie didn't use big name actors. I like that these four main characters were relative no names, even at the time, certainly, even still to this day in a way, because when you're watching this movie, the frenetic chaos, you have no predisposition about who will survive because you don't know who's getting paid the most out of the
yeah, like you see a zombie movie with Tom Cruise, you're like, Tom Cruise, is he making it
he's making it to the end.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
He's gonna be with, at least, if he dies, it'll be at the very end. And so I like that about this movie too, and that the suspense with the characters was also always there the whole time, because you don't, even though this is a franchise, it's not so linear that, I mean, you just get glimpses into this world.
Yeah.
You don't know who these people are. They're just people. So I do enjoy that quite a bit.
And I just like the era-ness of it too, like the 70s, early 80s feel of the movie, and like maybe it is nostalgic again because I watched this movie so much, and like I watched I loved horror movies as a younger person. I still love horror movies, frankly. And I just binge watched a lot of horror from the 70s and 80s, and so I just see something from that time period. It just makes me feel good. I don't know, it's terrific.
It has a coziness. It does. I mean, like, I'm like, that's the kind of mall my mom and dad would go to before they smashed and had me. But there is something nice about that. You get kind of a look into the past. You like this movie so much that you rewatch it a ton. For me, I like it enough. I respect it. It's not a rewatcher for me. I think that's where we're different. I don't think it's one that I revisit often. I don't know if it's got enough hooks to pull me back. It's got some really cool scenes, but for me, I think I'm still a little bit more into Night of the Living Dead for some reason. But I mean, the whole series is great. I'm not saying that this is. I'm saying it's a little bit less than. I'm not saying it's bad. I still like it. It's also 2.5 hours almost, at least the version that I watched.
Yeah, no, definitely watch the theatrical cut. I think that's the best version of this movie, in my opinion. Now, other opinions may vary.
Sure.
But, Travis, who cares what we think? How about some of
Not
those?
me.
I know I don't. Some of those post-credit reviews.
Yeah, I've got us going long with all my interjections, but hey, you guys want a podcast or do you want a sermon? All right, here we go. We've got 5 stars from A.R. Lopez back June 2024, right in the middle of the summer. I guess that'd be July 1st, so almost right in the middle of the summer. He says, I've seen this movie about 1,000 times, and that truck scene never fails to have me on the edge of my seat. Roger was and always will be a real one. R.I.P. P.S. Flyboy was a little
Whoa.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Whoa. This is where your biases when you're pulling these post-credit reviews is just so evident, Travis. I expect more impartiality from you. I will say Roger was a real one, though. You know what I mean?
Roger was a real one.
Roger was a real one.
And Flyboy was a little bitch. Up next, we got Kyle. I'm sorry, we got Pumpkin Kyle, Pumpkin Johnson, Pumpkin. A lot of emojis for Kyle. Look him up on LinkedIn.
Are you okay?
No, that's what he's got. Okay. Pumpkins. Jack-o'-lanterns, I guess I should say. Look him up on LinkedIn there. February of 2022, 5 stars. Hi, if you need me after we've locked down the mall and cleared out the corpses, I'll be chuckling softly and sadly to myself as I eat all the remaining gummy penis candies at Spencer's. Happy birthday, George. He watched this on Romero's birthday, and he wants to eat phallic candy out of Spencer's, which who doesn't?
Oh, God. Yeah, those things probably would last, too, man. There ain't nothing close to
yeah. And no one's bought them in 50 years. I mean, come on.
Who wants that?
Not me.
Somebody would.
I got a couple packs I need to get through.
Great around the holidays. Give to your family and friends.
Yeah. Up next, we got a 3. This is people who are a little bit more meh at the end. 3 star. This is from Tony. This is from May last year. Tony says he died doing what he loved, getting his blood pressure checked.
Amen. May we all go doing something we love, like getting our blood pressure checks. People do say like high blood pressure will kill you, so.
That's true. That should have been a line. Somebody should have said that. I wish somebody had walked by and said that. All right. We got a 3 star here from Slim, obviously Marshall Mathers from October 2022. Looks like they probably watched this part of their Halloween marathon. Starts off with an italic lead in here. Top line says, Yawn of the Dead.
Yeah, I don't like it. All right.
We got 2 paragraphs to go. Buckle up. He says, first, he says sorry, but he abbreviated it with that SRY.
Hate it even more.
Also, that's the only word he abbreviates in the whole 2 paragraphs.
Jesus.
Sorry, everyone relax. Last time I saw this was maybe high school. Is this the most overrated horror movie of all time? Getting lots of DMs about this. At a minimum, it has the least memorable Goblin soundtrack I've ever heard. Was never a hardcore zombie nerd, but this feels like something the Walking Dead fans would have framed and signed, etc. Zombie makeup looking like nobody realized this was going to be in color. It's fine.
What? Ugh. I don't even.
It's fine, Kat. It's fine. It's 3 stars. Fine. It says fine.
Yeah, but like, Lord, you're talking about all the. See, this is what bothers me with people. You're just gonna sit here and say, "Ooh, here are 3 negative things I came up with. None are all that original." You can't. There's like 5,000 positive, great things about this movie, and you're just gonna pick 3 little negative things. You know what? Yawn of the review. How about that, bitch?
Take that, Eminem. All right.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got.
I've never cursed as much on an episode, but these reviews really make me angry.
I feel really bad that I picked all these negative reviews for your favorite movie.
You don't. You lie. You don't feel bad.
I'm ever so slightly entertained.
I don't see any guilt in your eyes. I just see mirth, and it's pissing me off.
I don't even know how to have guilty eyes or how to have them. Up next, we got Ragtime Rye. This is from October of 2022. Another Halloween marathon, I bet. This is a half star, Kev. Buckle up.
Okay.
We got 3 paragraphs.
Well, this person's opinion already doesn't matter, so whatever.
How this is considered one of the greatest horror films ever is beyond me. This is so dull and poorly made. The movie begins clumsily. First, we are shown a news station in a panic. And then it cuts to a SWAT team killing Puerto Ricans and zombies. I wasn't sure what the was watching. This is supposed to have a social commentary on consumerism, but I don't get it. It's zombies in a mall, and that's supposed to say something. They remember shopping, and they've returned to where they used to shop. Okay.
You know what? Let me tell you this. This Ragtime Rye sounds like the kind of guy who takes his mom's perfume to the call girl because he wants her to smell like his mom.
Honestly, that is comforting. Have you ever smelled the bosom that smells like your mother's?
Mm-mm.
Oh, your mother's not dead.
No.
Up next, we got Chicken 82, August 2023, 1 star. Crazy how everyone in this movie was made of cake.
All right, I'll give it to him. That was pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
thought
good.
that might be a good one to go out on. So that's my last one there.
I just want to say Ragtime Rye is garbage, though. Just want to be clear on that.
Yeah, good name, bad take. I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh man, wow. Okay, well I've been on a run. Well, how about this? How about I tell you this? Okay, on a budget of $700,000. Okay, Dawn of the Dead went on to have a box office of $55 million. Gee, seems like a lot of people agree with me, Ragtime Rye.
God damn, that is so much capital. Dude.
Mm-hmm. And be one of the best movies of all time. Yeah, I said it. Its commentary on consumerism and society complement the horror of the film, setting the benchmark for not only all zombie movies that followed, but for all horror movies to follow. Inspired a host of filmmakers like Zack Snyder, who even remade the film, and Edgar Wright, who made Shaun of the Dead, and even Robert Kirkman in the creation of the comic The Walking Dead, with gory practical effects, good performances, a unique setting, and a dude getting the top of his head chopped off by a helicopter. This movie just straight up rules. And if you don't like it, we can settle it in an Arby's parking lot, the one down by the mall.
Too bad it's not a Shoney's parking lot, because I'd like to settle some things there. What I respect most about you, Kevin, is that you scripted yourself to say, yeah, I said it. I think that's amazing.
Did I make it sound natural at least? Anyway, moving on, Travis, how about we do a little hint for the next movie that we are doing?
No matter how much adversity we've had this season, and Kev, Lord knows we've had so much. I mean, I'm embroiled in a battle with my own fake uncle and his fake girlfriend.
Well, I'm sorry, fake. He, at this point, and I know you're mad, but like he is family This is like, what's that expression? When you're here, your family. All right, and I know you're mad, but just maybe dial it back a little bit.
Despite our differences, we never say die.
Never say die. We don't.
Never say die.
Yeah, I like it.
Hold on, I gotta go play with my one-eyed Willie. I'll be right back.
All right, finish that up.
Yeah, it's my penis. He's covered in gold. Oh, if you enjoyed this episode, you might like our other podcast. You can catch Kevin on the board gaming podcast Blue Peg, Pink Peg, and sometimes on stage being funny with the Big Lit Conspiracy along with me. Sometimes. You can catch me on Polykill, Drunk Friend, Off Kilter. We got Goosebumps. Did I say Drunk Friend already? Tales of the Lesser Medium. And this podcast, and a horde of other podcasts, probably. I don't know. Maybe there's ones I haven't come up with yet. If you want to keep sinking your teeth into this podcast, then support us on Patreon at the Polymedia Network. Go to Polykill, or go to patreon.com/Polykill. Find a tier that works for you. We also have to thank our good pal, our 3D watching Dawn of the Dead pal, Harvest Black, for that theme music that is a real thriller. And just like Kevin is going to say,
when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. The dead rise, the world decays. In a maw they hide from death's cruel gaze. Greed and horror go hand in hand as chaos spreads across the land. No safe haven, no escape, doomed to share the dead's dark fate.